everybody. Welcome to 2021. This is my first video of the new year for art, and I'm sorry about last week that I didn't get a video up for you guys, but some of you know that my son had to have emergency surgery in the hospital, so I was not able to be at school to record a video. He's okay. He's doing really well, thank God. But yeah, it was a rough couple days, and I didn't get to give you guys an art lesson. So this week we're going to be doing what I was going to do with you last week, which was welcome in 2021 with a brand new art project that I've never done here before. And it's very, very simple. What you're going to need is a white sheet of paper, a pencil, a black marker, some magazines, maybe a scissor, some glue, and things that you like to color with, like crayons or colored pencil or watercolor or even paint if you're allowed to. And we're going to meet over here on my table, and I'm going to show you how we're going to put it all together and make a putting your best foot forward into the new year project. You ready? Here we go. All right. So I went ahead and I traced my foot already onto my paper. And what you guys are going to do is you might need to ask for some help. Here, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see how big it actually, it's the size of my foot. So I traced my foot onto paper, and then I went ahead and painted it already so that I wouldn't spend the time doing that and then having to wait for it to dry. I used watercolor to paint, but you can use crayons, you can use markers, you can use colored pencils. And what I'm going to do, just because I really like to add lots of different elements into my art projects, I'm not just going to leave it that color. I'm going to outline it in black now. So you can go ahead and do that too. If you're working with crayon, it's hard to go over crayon with marker because of the wax. So you can just use a black crayon if you want to. Or you don't have to. You can skip this altogether. I'm just showing you possibilities. So you've traced your foot onto paper and you're coloring your foot in. And some of you might want to do like interesting patterns in here. We call it Zentangle, and I'm pretty sure I've done it with you guys before. But basically it's where you pick sections and you work within that section to create patterns. So I'm going to do just a simple curved black line, and just I thicken the line just to give it extra detail, just to make it more interesting to the eye. But you can play around with different patterns. You can use a scrap piece of paper first and come up with some ideas that you might want to include. But the whole idea is that your foot is going to be designed in a cool pattern, and the outside around your foot out here is going to have all different things that you either draw or write or cut out from a magazine about goals that you have for this year. 2020 was a really wild year. I'm hoping that 2021 is going to be calmer. I'm just going to make these circles up here. Some of them could have circles inside of them or not. Just have some fun playing around with patterns. A pattern is a great way to add detail to your art without having to sit and color an entire area, which sometimes people don't want to do because it's a big area to color. So adding a pattern actually creates interesting color and a visual effect on your artwork without having to add big blocks of color. I'm just doing circles. You can do really simple patterns, and everything is just lines. Everything that you draw is lines. It could be curvy lines, could be straight lines, could be dotted lines, could be spiky lines. It's all just lines. Okay, so I'm just going to make my footprint interesting, and think of it kind of like symbolically, like you are unique. You're your own person. There's nobody like you, not exactly the same as you, and you make your own unique footprint in in your life, in your school, in your family, in your environment. And I'm just doing a random kind of, this is what I would call like an organic shape. It's not geometric. I'm just doing a random. And that's what I want you guys to do. I just want you to have some fun doing some interesting pattern work inside your feet. If tracing your own foot is really hard, which it might be tricky, if you really can't do it, have somebody help you. But you do the work yourself on the inside of your foot, okay? Okay, and then down here I'm going to do if you're not allowed to use a permanent marker at home, that's okay. You can use a regular washable Crayola marker. You can use a black crayon, something like that. And again, I used watercolor to color my foot in. So if you have watercolor and you're allowed to use it, just give it time to dry before you start drawing on it. Mine's been drying for about an hour or two, so it's very dry. Okay, now my foot is done. All right, so I got a pretty cool foot. I've got 3 different shades of blue in my watercolor there, so it gives it an extra depth to it. And I went ahead and I cut out some things that are goals for myself for 2021. You can even do the year up at the top if you want to. You can do it colorfully. You can do, I'm just going to do some block numbers. The number 20, 21. Up there. This is my 2021 goal. How am I making my mark and how am I putting my best foot forward into 2021? Well, here are some of the things that I cut out. I cut out enjoy more. I want to enjoy playing with my kids more. I want to enjoy spending time with my family more. So I'm going to put enjoy more up there in my collage. And I have the words free your creativity. This year I definitely want to get back to doing my own art more often. With you guys is one thing because I get to do artwork that I plan to teach you guys. But when it comes to my own work, I haven't done a lot of my own painting a lot lately. So I would like to get back to that everyday fun, this says. So try to, sometimes every day when you're working and you're doing your schoolwork, it's sometimes you forget to have some fun because you're busy doing work, work, work. And I know as a mom, sometimes I say, no, I can't play right now to my kids because I'm busy doing work or I'm planning or I'm cleaning or something. So I want to try to remember to have fun every day. A little bit anyway. Comfort. We're working on the inside of our house and getting some new furniture that's more comfortable. A lot of the stuff that we have has been passed down to us from others. And now we're starting to decide to get some of the stuff that we want to get, even though we're grateful that we've had it. Now we're starting to pick out stuff that we want. Family time. So this, I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit because this is too big to fit where I'm going to do family time like this. It's going to overlap into my foot a little bit. That's okay. And that's okay if yours overlaps into your foot a little bit. That's fine. Or you can look for smaller words. Or if you're drawing this, if you're not finding words in magazines, you can write the words. But here's what I would suggest. If you're writing, I would suggest that you make a list first on a piece of paper. That way you can make a list of all your goals that you've got for 2021, or at least for the rest of the school year. How about that? And make a list of things like I want to get better at soccer, or I want to learn how to play piano, or whatever it might be. and make a list on a piece of paper. You can have somebody help you with some spelling if you don't know how to spell some words. And make a list, and then from that list, you can either draw or write the words or use symbols on your paper, or you can look for those words in magazines that match um, what your goals are on your list. Okay, so the first step is that you are tracing your foot, and then you're going to color and design your foot. Then while that's drying or while you're waiting for that to be finished, you're going to find words in magazines that match your goals that you have, or you just can find some cool things in magazines that you want to try doing and put them on the outside of your foot. And if you're drawing or writing, you're going to make a list on a piece of paper first with things like, I want to get better at singing, I want to eat better foods, I want to exercise more, whatever those goals for 2021 that you might have are, you write them down, and then you can either use your list to draw those things or write about those things with colors, let's say, or different color markers or pens or crayons, or you can go look for them in magazines for images. Like if you wanted to be a better soccer player, maybe you would find a picture of a soccer ball and you'd cut it out and put it on your collage. Or if you wanted to eat healthier, maybe you can find some pictures of healthy food and cut them out. Like maybe you don't like peas. I don't like peas very much. So maybe I might want to try to cut out a picture of peas to represent that I'm going to try to eat peas and get past my not liking them. Okay? So it's up to you. You think about that, okay? Think about what you want for yourself for the next year and what kinds of things you want to try or get better at doing or maybe just do more of. And those are the things that are going to be your goals on the outside of your foot. Okay? And that's how we're going to step forward into a new year, put our best foot forward into a new year. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to send me a picture like you always do and tell me about what you did. And I can't wait to see your 2021 vision for your collage or your drawing, and send it my way as soon as you're done with it. You've got a whole week to finish it up, so it's not due until next Friday. And I look forward to seeing these. Bye, guys. Have a great week. Happy New Year.